He stepped out from underneath the tree's broad, sheltering arms and began his journey east, leaving its sweet scent of lemon behind him. He hoped, as he trudged through the grass, that he would smell it again one day. The end.
Wow. All right. Really, really nice work, Stuffy. I was wondering after hearing you read from it these past few weeks how you were going to end up wrapping it up, and you put a really nice button on it at the end there.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice work. What did everyone else think?
Could have used more sex, baby. It's a coming-of-age story about an 11-year-old. So? I was tearing it up by the time I was 1-year-old.
Stuffy's characters are humans, though. We tend to wait a little longer than that before we start having sex.
What are you waiting for, baby? Time's a-wasting. By the time you get to 11, it's almost over. Humans live for 70 or 80 years. What?
And anyway, the only other character that Stuffy's protagonist seems even a little close to is his own sister. I think a pre-adolescent incestuous affair might have been a bit lurid for this.
You gotta break those walls down sometime, baby.
Jack, what did you think of Stuffy's story?
I really liked your use of sentences. Thank you.
Well, since we've already kind of touched on the subject, let's talk about your story, Toby Benson. You said last week that you wanted to sex it up.
Right on.
And what changes did you ultimately decide on?
I decided to go for subtlety, baby, so I didn't make very many changes.
Yeah, I noticed, actually. I skimmed it before we all sat down, and I didn't really notice any differences. Did you opt not to sex it up after all?
Take a look at the bottom of page 3.
Oh, yes, I see. Kiss me where I pee, she said. So I did. Then I fucked her raw, Toby Benson style, and jizzed on her fat, stupid face. This is new.
When I wrote it, I thought about what you said, about how we should use sex scenes to show who the characters are, not just to give people something to jack off to.
I think I used the word titillate, but... Okay, well, so do you know where you're going with this?
Absolutely, baby.
And you're going to show us more of who these people are?
You know, baby. They're people who really dig ass eating.
Okay. Jack, I read your... Jack?
Well, take your hand off of me, you bastard!
Jack, just easy, all right? I was just hoping we could talk about your story.
Well, you better start talking then, hadn't you?
Okay, so does anyone else want to say something about Jack McPherson's story?
I found it a little grim. The way every single person in the town was killed, it seemed a bit gratuitous. What are you talking about? Was it not this big bastard here who told us to write what we know? Well, if I don't know grim, I don't know who should. I know it, I've lived it, I've visited it upon others. And if you can't stomach reading about it, why don't you put on a clean pair of Little Mermaid panties and curl up on the couch and enjoy the fucking Disney afternoon?
Is the Disney afternoon still a thing?
Will you still be a thing after I eat your heart?
I think Stuffy does have a point, though, Jack. I mean, your protagonist is pretty unsympathetic by the end of this.
How can you say that? Unsympathetic. He's righteous. Taking retribution against those who've done him wrong.
Well, that's how he sees it, but let's look at this objectively. I mean, he wanders into a bar in a strange town. He demands that somebody buy him a drink, and when everybody refuses, he gets belligerent, they kick him out, and then he comes back later that night and burns down the entire town.
And the fire swept from house to house, street to street, and cut them down everyone like a scythe of vengeance.
That's a very vivid passage, and I think you could keep that and maybe lose some of the harsher details.
Like the scene where he goes from house to house, chaining all the doors and windows shut.
Exactly, or the part where he finds a little girl crawling out from her basement window and he breaks her legs with a pipe and douses her with gasoline and burns her alive right there in her own backyard while her parents are screaming, watching helplessly through their bedroom window, trapped in the burning house. I mean, couldn't you have just left that bit out?
But that's just how it happened.
Well, When we are writing from personal experience, we need to strike a balance between remaining faithful to events that actually happened and presenting a main character who isn't an evil, unrepentant murderer. Just maybe keep that in mind as you move forward.
Eat a cock, you bastard!
Toby Benson, what did you think of Jack McPherson's story?
I thought it was great.
Okay, well, I took a swing at that poem that I mentioned last time, so would you guys mind if I read that out and maybe we could discuss that?
Not especially.
Do you have a choice?
Okay. Gray-blue socks on adorable feet, blue-gray sweater stretched over full breasts and long blonde hair that reminds me of a Billy Joel song.
Did I show you my new iPhone, baby?
Yes, it's very impressive. I was telling Steve last week how much I love that star map app.
Guys,
You know, if you point it at the ground, it even shows you the stars in the sky on the other side of the planet.
It's remarkable.
guys, come on.
You hungry, man? You want to help me eat a Philly cheesesteak pizza or something?
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
What?
I'll order it on the Domino's app.
Jack? You okay?
I've got something to tell you, and it's very important.
What is it?
I did not enjoy your poem.
Okay.